Welcome back to Trading with Goals. You need to make sure you spend some time on working out what your specific goal is. I can help you as far as which numbers that you may want to be looking at, how long that particular goal is realistic to take, even talk to you about what type of trader you may want to be. But what I can't help you with is what your goals are. They're going to be individualized for you specifically. If you're just starting out, I would suggest having a specific short-term goal, something that you want to do or have had your eye on for a while now. And first, make sure it's something that you really, really want. If it isn't something you really, really want, what's going to happen is you're going to lose sight of your goal in the heat of the battle. You're going to overtrade or break your rules a lot quicker if it's not your goal is not very, very specific. My first computer was something I really wanted. I was laser focused on that particular goal because that's something that I really, really wanted. You need to make it something that you really want. Not, oh, it'd be nice to have XYZ. It's something that you wake up for in the morning and you really want to make the money so you can get XYZ. It makes the hard work of trading much easier when you're very specific goal in mind and you have a desire to put that into work. You have desire to put the work in. Once you have determined that goal, that you need to have a dollar amount attached to that goal, whether that's a product or a service or charity, whatever it is. Once you have the goal in mind and know how much that product is going to cost, for example, the boat example in the last video I talked about, now put a time frame on that goal. You want to have this particular goal at XYZ date. And again, if this is a short-term goal, it should be less than 12 months. So 12 months or less is something to shoot for on a short-term goal. Short-term goals tend to be easier to accomplish, not only because they have less dollar amounts and less time, but because you have a burning desire for them and you can see the light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak. Most people don't have the same desires 5, 10, 20 years from now, so their long-term goal may lose some of its luster down the road. Your drive and follow-through may not be as strong if you have a long-term goal that is a time frame of 15 or 20 years. If you look back 15 years, 10 years, are the same desires that you have today? Probably not. Some things maybe, but if you looked back those 10 years, it's very possible, but your interests have changed or your goals have changed, family has changed. What means more to you now didn't mean much to you back then. So that is why I suggest doing short-term goals in the beginning. Hit one or two of those short-term goals before moving on to the bigger long-term goals. Also, once you hit one or two of these short-term goals, at that point you will also know what type of trader really suits you. You can kind of work out the bugs a little bit as far as your trading and what type of trader you'll be. You may be the type that loves constant action of the markets or someone who wants to jump in the markets when the markets are hot. So now that you have the goal on a piece of paper, you have the amount of money it's going to cost to accomplish that goal. Being that it's a short-term goal, you have to have a specific date that you want this goal accomplished. The next thing you need to know is how much money you're planning on investing. So let's do the earlier example and walk through things a bit. Okay, let's say the goal is to buy a used boat. The cost of that goal, the cost of the boat, is $4,000. The time frame for the goal is 6 months. The amount that I'm starting with is $1,000. I now have the goal. I need to determine a couple of things. How much pain can I deal with? In other words, if I'm going to be crying in my pillow every night if I lose that $1,000, probably not something I want to be very aggressive on. Can I handle some losses? Am I going to change my strategy midstream? You need to know what type of pain tolerance that you can take on some of these losses, as you will have losses from time to time. So you need to know what type of pain you can handle. If I can handle the pain okay and I don't want to risk it all, Am I the person that needs to put stops in, or do I just want to go for it and just, you know, like double my money every single time if I can? Only looking for really great trades. Others may want to, only risk 2, 3, 4%, 5% on a particular trade. Until you deal with trading live, you really can't answer those questions. Those questions become a little clearer, though, when you have a specific goal in mind and something that you're really passionate about. Because if the goal is good enough, you're willing to deal with some of the pain to get there. Second thing you really need to look at is what kind of trader am I going to be? How much do I want to risk per trade? How often do I want to trade? Going back to the boat goal of $4,000 in 6 months, starting with $1,000, if I answer the question about how much pain I can handle by saying I can't handle much pain, that doesn't mean there won't be pain if you decide to do, really conservative money management. It just won't happen all at once. So let's say the difference between getting pinched very hard in the same spot every single day for 30 days may be a way to think of it if you're doing money management. You're still going to have pain. It's just not going to be as intense as, say, a finger being slammed in a car door. There's going to be a lot more pain there. It's going to be more severe, but it's not going to last for 30 days either. It's going to last for a day or two, and you'll be done. But it's going to be very intense for that particular time when you're feeling that particular pain. And I can't answer that for you. Whether you like your Band-Aid ripped off straight away or little by little. So if you can't handle much pain in your trading is going to be more conservative. You're going to be risking less money per trade, which means if you need to get to your goal, and you're going to have to be trading more often. That's just the way it is. So if you're willing to risk, say, $50 per trade in that case, in order to get to my goal of that $4,000, I need to earn $3,000 worth of profits. That means that I'm going to have 60 more winners than losers over the course of 10 months, or excuse me, over the course of 6 months. So that's roughly 10 extra winners every single month, assuming I'm risking $50 every single trade. So if your risk is $50 per trade, you have to be a trader in order for this particular goal. If I'm, again, $4,000 is my goal in 6 months, but I'm only willing to risk $50 per trade, I can't just pick one trade per month because I'm never going to get there. Just the mathematics just don't allow that. It just doesn't make sense. So I have to have more trades if I'm going to reach that particular goal that I have in mind. So you can't only trade 5 times a month in this particular case because you won't reach the goal. It just won't happen. If, however, you're someone who likes to risk it all on a trade or a large portion and can handle some pain, you may put all your money in a particular trade but use a 50% stop or a 25% stop or whatever the case is. But you're only looking for a couple of trades in the course of those 6 months. You don't want to trade that often. You don't care about the action in the market. All you care about is making money. You don't mind waiting for the quote-unquote right trade to come along. So you put the $1,000 in a trade. If it wins, you have $2,000. If it loses and you have, say, a $500 stop, then you lost $500. And then you look on for the next trade. Again, there are lots of ways to trade, but once you have the specific goal on paper with the amount of time that you want in order to accomplish a goal, and the amount of money it costs, that particular goal costs, and the investment amount, that's going to help you a lot. Once you determine the type of trader you want to be, i.e. more active, but with conservative money management, or less trades but more aggressive, then this just becomes a math problem. If you need help with the math aspects, please let me know. But please have a specific goal in place when you contact me so we can kind of walk through that. Okay, once that's done, once you have your goal in place and you have the type of trader that you're going to be, What this does is focus you on your trading. And if you are an aggressive trader putting all your money in one trade, you aren't going to be checking the markets every 3 minutes looking for a trade, because you only need 2 or 5 different trades over the course of a 6-month period. So the little blips of the market don't interest you in the least. You're looking for that one big score. Now, if you're a person that wants to trade 25 times a month and risk 5% of your trade, or 5% of your account per trade, you have to win a certain win rate in order to hit your goal. So if that win rate doesn't happen, you're not going to hit the goal. You aren't going to trade unless you feel that you can hit that particular win rate. And you aren't going to be risking 10% on something because your rule is 5% per trade. So on a trade that you think you're going to win, you're not going to risk more on that particular thing because your rule is 5% per trade. It just wouldn't fit in your end goal. This is also make sure that you are realistic in your trading. So if you're starting with $500 and want to turn it into $1 million in 3 months, you would have to be right 11 times in a row over 3 months. More than likely with no losses. More than likely not realistic, and if you're trading at binary options, you couldn't even buy that many contracts anyways. But these really focus you on your specific goals, see if they're realistic, and they keep them short term. We're not talking about making 10,000% return over the course of 50 years or something like that. We're talking about really short time frames just to get you to a specific goal and a specific thing that you're looking for. So to recap, have a specific goal in mind, not only in mind, but have it on paper. Have that specific goal have a time frame on it. It needs to be accomplished by X date, and figure out how much that goal is going to cost in real dollars and how much your starting capital is. Determine your pain tolerance and determine the type of trader you're going to be. Don't worry about what others think about your particular goals. It's your goals, not theirs. Be smart about it. I'm not interested in your particular goals. If yours is getting a brand new boat, that doesn't interest me at all. But if that's your goal and that's something you've been looking at for years, put that in your goals. Have specific numbers laid out for you, but that isn't for me. So don't worry about what other people think about your particular goals. Go for it, but be precise on your goals and the time frame for it. Things that drive you aren't the things that are going to drive someone else, but make sure there's something that you are very passionate about. It just makes things a lot easier when you have a specific goal in mind that you are passionate about. I really believe that trading with goals is one of the keys to success in trading. Failure to trade with goals is just trading, and honestly, I don't think you'll ever know when you're successful at it or not if you don't have an end goal in mind. Contact me if you do have any questions or comments. Hopefully this was very helpful in kind of laying out how to trade at goals, why it's important, and so forth. So contact me if you do have any questions. I wish you the best. Take care, and let me know your successes when you're trading with goals. When you hit that magic goal that you've been looking for months or weeks or whatever, however you set up your goals. But let me know. I'd love to hear your success or failure stories as well. But I'll talk to you soon. Take care. I wish you the best.